How are you doing? Good people. I really wish and hope that your day was good, that your day was great. And at all times, you being happy and you being a good viewer of Ombasa TV, it is my happiness to welcome you. So, my good request today is that you stay tuned, you stay here till we finish the great talk. Remember, in our great show, I bring guests from different countries, from different regions, and from different continents. So, my engineers will confirm to me that am I visible? Am I audible? That's the work of my engineers. You know what, good people? In our society, the young people should be given a space. In our society, the young people should be well represented. And that will happen if, as young people, we come together, think together, collaborate, and do great things together. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Call that friend of yours to be here in Ombasa TV Live. Thank you so much for your presence here. I'm much elated to have you here in our media station. This is our brand. This is your brand. And let us build it as people of a better today, not tomorrow. Right. Now, today, I want us to tackle a topic about leadership. Now, about African leadership, we will tackle it with a coach, a young person from the country of Zambia. As we know, Zambia, amongst African countries, Zambia is doing well. And also, I'm an African. I come from Kenya. So, relatively, also, I can say that Kenya is doing well. As an ambassador and an agent of Kenya, Kenya is doing very nicely. Now, I want us now to talk about what we call leadership. And leadership, if as young people we won't be together, leadership of tomorrow won't be of great fruits. Now, I want to welcome our guest, and he has traveled all the way from Zambia to get onto Europe and to give you this great message. Thank you so much. Stay tuned till the end. Now, I think our guest is ready, and our engineers, you can confirm to me if our guest is around the corridors of our studios as we begin the great event. So in a count of, let me check people who are watching. Thank you so much for people who are tuned in. Thank you so much. I appreciate for your presence here. I have seen Wycliffe Miyoko. Thank you so much. I have seen Samara Spencer. Thank you so much. I've seen Elena from UK. Thank you so much. I have seen Purity Kemuto from Kenya. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your place that you should be at all times. So in a count of 4, 3, 2, and finally 1. We have our guest inside the room. Hello,
Mr. Michael,
brother.
it's a pleasure having me.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're good?
I'm very well.
How is life?
Life is very fine.
How was your day?
My day was fine, thank you. I don't know how your day went.
My day was, I will not say it was fine. My day was very fast.
Wow.
So time is now moving rapidly.
Of course.
So you're doing well?
I'm doing fine,
Life
thank
is
you.
good, things are good.
Things are good, my brother.
Oh, amazing. Super. That's great. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Once again, my second time on the podcast.
Greet them and tell them hello. Greet
Our
them.
audience, how are you doing? Thank you for having me the second time on this wonderful podcast.
Wow. Who are you?
So my name's Nkole Besa, of course, a leadership coach from Zambia. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So you're from Zambia.
Of course.
What is interesting about Zambia?
Zambia is a wonderful country. We have a diverse culture, of course, different languages, the majority of the youth that need to be in leadership. And those youth needs to be coached on how best they can approach individuals and attain higher positions of leadership. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm here to represent a number of youths in my country that want to be in leadership positions. And leadership requires coaching, mentorship, and discipline for you to succeed.
Coaching, mentorship,
And discipline,
and discipline.
of course.
Hey. So our guest has begun on a high notch. Good people, stay tuned. This is the place that you should be at all times. Remember, we serve you great cups of leadership. This is the place that you should be. Make sure you stay tuned till we finish. So, if I could just ask, have you ever led people?
Of course, I have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In my leadership years, we can go back to high school.
Wow.
Yes, yeah. In high school, I was appointed as the academic prefect in my high school.
Wait a minute. Yes. So you are the academic prefect?
Yes.
Do you know what it could take us to be, or in our school, do you know what it could take me to be an academic prefect? Do you know academic prefect?
Please, you can let me know one or two things, brother.
Oh, wait a minute. Why were you an academic prefect?
Of course, for you to be an academic prefect, you had to make sure your grades are in order. You had to be disciplined, and you had to inspire the next generation of students coming. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were there because you were to inspire people who were to come, or I'm not getting your point clearly.
Okay. So when you're an academic prefect, so what you need to offer is you are a symbol of excellence. People must look up to you. When it comes to leadership, you must be very disciplined. Yeah, you can't lead people without discipline. So that's the first thing.
You are disciplined,
of course.
Wait a minute. Okay, how are you disciplined?
Okay, firstly, when it comes to discipline, it's how you handle yourself, how you carry yourself, and how you communicate.
Hey, wait a minute. So leadership is hand in hand with communication.
Of course.
All right, that's new.
Leadership requires communication. Yes.
It
leadership requires communication. And you need to know the type of people that you're leading. For you to select a particular style of communication to apply. Okay, you don't have to apply any type of communication not knowing your audience and the people that you're leading.
All right.
Yes.
So you must know your audience, then you can apply
a particular type of leadership.
Oh, that's great. So in your leadership, what did you achieve? What is this one thing? What school was that? What's the name of that school?
Okay, so shout out to my people in Lusaka. So I was at Bulanze Secondary School.
Bulanze?
Yes, Bulanze Secondary School. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What if I go to Bulanze Secondary School?
Yeah.
What is one thing that they will tell me about Nkole Besa?
Of course, when you go to my school, we carried out a number of debate competitions. So we created a platform for students to come in and actually be good communication people. So a number of students that I left an impact on have succeeded tremendously when it comes to communication and leadership.
Right.
Yes.
That's something that is worth it. Because debate nurtures communication.
Of course.
That's great. Wow. So if I get to your school and ask in Bulanze,
yes,
I'll ask them who is Nkole Besa, they will tell me that guy was a tough man in debate.
They will.
If I bet with you, let's say 1,000. Okay. Not 1,000. What is your currency in your country?
We use kwacha.
Kwacha.
Yes. Don't mistake it for Malawan kwacha. So there's Zambian kwacha and Malawan kwacha.
Oh, in Kenya we use cash, that is shilling.
Okay.
So my point is, if let us use maybe USD.
Of course.
US dollars or
Yes.
euros.
Mm.
If I bet you 100 euros and we do a debate, will you stand a test to win me?
I will.
Not really. Fans. Okay, fans. I'm asking the fans.
They'll be the judges.
You will be the judges. Fans, stay with us. Now, you will make sure that between me and Besa, you will tell us the winner. And the winner will take away how much?
100 USD.
100 USD or
Yes.
euros.
Or 100 euros.
Euros.
Yes.
All right. So, we are beginning. Are we together?
We're together.
Okay. We want to debate about what? Leadership.
African leadership.
African
Leadership.
leadership. Right. Good people. Are you watching? What's your comment? Let me check in the comment. I'm saying someone saying shilling. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Someone saying good night. I have to go, guys. We are missing. Where is GPS? We will, don't worry. Thank you so much. That is Elena. That's our great friend from UK. Thank you so much, Elena. I'm seeing Samara Spencer. She's saying that shilling. Thank you so much. I'm saying Besa means money. Right. Wait a minute. Your name means money.
Yes.
In our country.
Wow.
So you have money?
Yeah.
Are you rich?
Of course.
We're about to begin the debate. Are you rich?
Yes. Rich in wealth. Yes. Rich in wealth and knowledge. Yes.
You are rich in wealth and knowledge.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Someone is saying I'm the judge. Thank you. The debate now begins. I'm seeing Ombasa Linus. Kenyans are sharp. There is no way. Okay. Now it's a debate. Did you tell your people that you are here?
Of course I did.
Amazing.
Of course
I want to see their comments here. If they don't come, then there will be a serious problem at the end. Now, we have begun our debate. Our debate begins.
Of course.
We have a government that was in office. So I'm that government. I'm the government. I'm the African government that was in office. You want to come into office.
Of course.
And outthrow my regime.
Yes.
So, I had projects that were ongoing, and you have your plan.
Of course.
So, do you outthrow everything that I had and begin new things, or you continue with what I had?
Okay, so the first thing in leadership is coexistence. So what you need to do is I have to scrutinize certain projects that you are already undergoing and align the projects that you have with my projects. Okay?
That is ego. That is ego.
No, it's not ego.
You're egocentric.
No, I'm not egocentric. I'm not egocentric. Your government and my government all want to be in power, but the people that we are protecting the interests of the people that elect us. So I must see the projects that you have, and I must also align those projects with my projects. So if I see that some of the projects that you're carrying out are not of the benefits of the local citizens, they will be withdrawn. Okay, I will carry on with some of the projects that you carried out, looking at the benefits it has for the majority of citizens. Each regime is elected in power for the benefits of its citizens.
Wait a minute. Okay, your idea is fit. But now, do you think that everyone who goes to leadership, let's say practically, of the examples that you have seen, witnessed, do they go in power with that heart of citizens?
Unfortunately, the majority don't go with the heart of centering citizens as their priority. Yes.
So then, how is that? Can you make it make much sense to us? Because then that is your idea that you will align with my projects.
Of course.
And the reality is that were I to be the running mate or the person who is trying to take your office, I'll not continue. People are enemies. Where on earth have you ever seen people who are running for the same seat, eating together on eve of the election date?
Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. But when it comes to governance, we must put in mind that if you want to achieve and leave a legacy, okay, in a country, you must put your ego aside and prioritize the citizens first. And it's the responsibility of the citizens to scrutinize the people that are running for elections. Okay? Citizens must be informed. Okay? I advise that citizens must be informed, politicians must inform citizens of their manifestos. Okay? And citizens, it's your responsibility to scrutinize those manifestos. You can tell in between the line that this manifesto that these politicians are trying to sell to us isn't worth development. It's for self-interest. And it's from there that we can all come together and say, we can't elect you in office, because we can see that some of these policies that you're about to implement can cause drastic disaster in the nation.
Okay, you know what? I agree with what you're saying.
Of course.
I don't deny. My issue comes. You will go to people.
Of course.
Talk to them.
Of course.
Tell them your agendas. And once you're in office, you'll not really do what you want to do or what you have asked them that you want to achieve in office. From a point of, yes, you want, I'm in the office.
Yes.
Now you want to come and overtake. Are we together? In the first place, I told you that on my side, on my end, I'm the government.
Yes.
My projects are mine. Continue with your own project. But you have told me you'll come to a line and confirm with the citizens.
Yes.
Then now tell me, how is that in order? Because then you also want to ask the citizens, which is a lie. Does it happen?
It does happen. And I would want to disagree with you at some point.
Okay.
Because each project that you carry out won't be a success. There will be certain weaknesses and loopholes that I'll be looking at. And if your policies have loopholes, then I must come in and remove those loopholes and put in certain policies that will improve the country's development. So when it comes to your policies, not all the policies that a government implements will be very successful. So I have to scrutinize the weak policies, okay, and come in with positive policies. Remember, Africa must develop. And for Africa to develop, we need continuation of development. Okay? For Africa to develop, we need continuation of development. What we experience in most African countries is very sad. When a regime is elected, okay? When a regime is elected, they don't scrutinize certain policies that the previous regime had. And sometimes they just come in with a new plan, and you're finding a lot of African countries in a lot of debt, because each policy requires financial resources to be carried out.
Right.
Of course.
I'm getting your point. So you're trying to tell me that in government, if you come in office today, you will not outthrow the policies that have been set?
No.
You won't outthrow them?
No.
But for me, I say it's better to outthrow them. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Because then, this is my opinion.
Yes.
If I get to office and I find that you're setting, let's say your policies that you have set, they are not in alignment with whatever that should be happening.
Yes.
Then I see it wise that I should withdraw all of them and begin a new formulation.
Okay.
That's my take.
That's my take. Oh, that's your take. Unfortunately, I would like to disagree. So if I was to come in and remove all the policies in government, are you telling me that all the policies are wrong?
Right. They are not wrong.
Exactly.
Yes.
Not all your policies are wrong. Remember, if I am supposed to speak for the people and give the people a manifesto, I'm supposed to use your weaknesses. I don't use your strengths, because your strengths people will support, but your weaknesses is what I'm targeting. So my manifesto is based on your weaknesses.
Then you are weak.
No, it doesn't mean that you're weak. It means you are seen certain wrongs that you have made in government. So when I come in, I want to polish the wrongs so that we continue tremendous development.
Okay, wait a minute. So you're trying to tell me before one gets to government, he or she must check on the weaknesses.
Of course.
What if that will hinder the creativity? Because then, what if you created your own policies and own agendas and your own solid manifesto?
Of course.
Why should I go to cross-check? Now you are checking on my abilities. Now you are just there. What was the weakness of this guy? That hinders your creativity in leadership.
It doesn't hinder.
Are you tangible?
Of course.
How?
It doesn't hinder creativity. What it does is you're looking at improving the livelihoods of citizens. And improving the livelihoods of citizens requires continuation of development. I'll say this. Each government has something good they offer to the people. Okay?
Right, I agree.
Each government has something good they're offering to the people. But then, at what extent does that good cost? So, you must make sure that as you are coming in, as I am coming in, and you're the government, scrutinize certain policies that are wrong, okay? And then some policies that are good, of course, if we have enough financial resources to keep on carrying them out, we'll keep on supporting. But if we don't, we create strategies of how we can continue them.
So you are sticking at telling me that ideas should be continued.
Of course.
All right. Now, that one has no problem. I really have no problem with that. But now, maybe, why do I see many presidents? Do they have power to cancel the old projects?
They do.
They do?
Of course.
Really?
Of course.
Then where is the position of a citizen if they do?
Okay. So each country, of course, has an electoral system. Okay.
Yeah, sure. What's your electoral system?
Okay. So for us, our electoral system is called single majoritarian system.
Single
majoritarian system.
Majoritarian.
Yes.
That means S what? SM single majoritarian.
Single member majoritarian system.
SMSM.
Yes.
Something like that.
Single member majoritarian system.
Thus, we have Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. That is IEBC.
Okay. So we have a single member majoritarian system. So for a single member majoritarian system, for you to be elected as government, you have to win 50% plus one of the election results.
Definitely.
Yes,
Same
of course.
to us.
And in that system, you have what we call MPs that you elect, the members of parliament. So the members of parliament speak for the people, okay, in the National Assembly.
Sure.
Yes, to make decisions. So you must ensure that as citizens, the MPs speak based on the challenges you're having. Okay.
Sure.
So when they,
I think that system is same to Kenya because then that is something that is. We also have something like that. National Assembly. We have the members of parliament,
of course,
going to make sure that the agendas and everything that the common mwananchi needs,
yes,
that's the citizen,
of course,
is well represented before the
yes,
assembly.
Exactly. And for such a particular type of system, you find that the MPs, okay, assent a bill into law. So if a bill is proposed in parliament, you have to ensure that they scrutinize that bill, they see the do's and don'ts, and if they feel fit to elect it into law, they elect it.
Now,
okay?
If you let's get back to where we came from to this conversation.
Yes.
You told me that presidents have power to cancel old projects.
Of course.
Then is that a system then?
Remember,
because if you have power to cancel a project,
yes,
that negates what you have been saying of that you should continue with whatever that was there, which is good, then why should they have power to cancel everything?
Okay, so in your country, Kenya,
Uh-huh.
and in my country,
Zambia.
Zambia,
Uh-huh.
um, for a bill to be accepted
Mhm.
into law,
Mhm.
what the president must sign.
Mhm.
So the president must sign.
Mhm.
Hence, we can say at some point,
Mhm.
the MPs or members of parliament that we elect
Mhm.
have substantial power. The person that actually assents that bill to law is the president.
Mhm.
Hence, we say the president at some point have some supreme power to accept certain things into law and certain things to be rejected.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
So it's very important, as I earlier alluded to in our discussion,
Mhm.
to say
Mhm.
citizens of Africa, be very careful of the manifesto character of the leaders that you elect.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so you are telling me that you must be, as maybe citizens, they must be very keen of who they elect.
Of course.
Mhm. Yeah, sure. That makes much sense. And in that one, I agree with you.
Mhm.
Now, my issue comes this way.
Yes.
Then, if you have the powers, maybe you are elected in office
Of course.
and you have the mandate to cancel all the projects, then that is deadly, because what if you hated me? You will cancel everything that was even good for
the nation. Exactly. That's the majority of what's happening on the African continent. There's a lot of hate between leaders, which shouldn't be the case.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we see this discontinued development in plenty of African countries due to hate from African leaders. So we must, as I'll always mention this point, I'll be very strong on this one.
Mhm.
Please, citizens, scrutinize the leaders you're electing, because leaders must preach peace. And if they preach peace, we will see some form of development. Usually, this hate that comes in between, this past regime and this current regime coming in, we see a lot of arrests. Okay, a lot
Sure.
of arrests, misuse of power. Okay, just to harass particular leaders.
You get the point?
Yes.
You just stepped on the nail. Now,
Yes.
this is the point, that now you have the power to cancel all the projects. Then you will misuse that power. Because then, if you can cancel everything and you hate the leadership that was currently in office, and now you are the incumbent, the sitting president, you will cancel everything that was even good for the
People.
people.
Yeah. But is that the case? That's not what's supposed to happen.
Mhm.
What causes that to happen is
Mhm.
A lot of politicians, a lot of leaders come to us, sell their manifesto, and hide their clear intentions about the country. Okay, and what they want to do with that power. So let's be very, very careful. Yes, let's be
All
very,
right.
very
Now,
careful.
what maybe, if I get to your country, what is this one project that maybe was stopped and you think it was very, very helpful? What project do you think?
Okay, so when it comes to my country, one particular project that was discontinued was dealing with electricity. Okay, a number of projects were carried out by the past regime and came to facilitating certain hydroelectric power stations.
Okay.
And when the current regime came in, of course, they've done tremendously well when it comes to our economy. They've revamped our economy. The kwacha is actually one of the best performing currencies on the African continent.
Wait a minute.
There. The
What's
kwacha.
the word of one kwacha?
So if currently, if we compare the euro to kwacha,
Yes.
so
One
euro is equivalent to 22 kwacha.
22.
Yes, 22 kwacha.
In Kenya, 1 euro at the moment it's 140, 45, 46.
Yes. So we can see.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see it practically from the figures.
Yeah, of course. They've done tremendously well when it comes to the debt restructuring process. So we've gotten a lot of international support and recognition for putting in a good debt restructuring system and winning back the support of multilateral aid, of course, when it comes to the IMF and the World Bank. Yeah. So economically, they've done tremendously well. Unfortunately, with the power situation in my country, it's still a major challenge, and certain projects were stopped as a result of change of regime.
Power.
Yes.
Power. So we heard you telling me that there are some projects that were stopped.
Yes.
In Kenya, I think we had some projects. Yeah, it happens mostly. We have good projects that are ongoing. I can remember something about it's even a change. And some bring change. Yes, we have good leaders. I can agree that bring good change. We agree. But now my issue is this, that now in these leadership regimes, should we have a clean manifesto that says this is the plan of this whole country? Anyone who comes into leadership, as citizens, we have said that we need roads, we need hospitals, we need this. Don't set the manifesto. We have it at hand. How do you think about that?
It's a wonderful idea. It's a wonderful idea. And when it comes to that, I would like to say economic development is very critical to carry out any other types of developments that you need in the country. So you must make sure the economy is right. So you must make sure as a country your debt structure is very sufficient. It's very efficient and sufficient, of course. You're able to service your debts. How are you getting a lot of money from the resources that you have? Okay, the mineral resources, the agriculture. Okay, any other goods that a country produces. How much are you getting from your exports? Do you have sufficient or efficient industries in the country that can add value addition to the goods that you produce? Okay, that's the first thing. Because if you have that, then we'll talk of the transport sector as well. Okay, the roads need financing. So from the economy, we can see us getting resources to pump into other sectors of the economy.
All right.
Yes. So the first sector of the economy, of course, is very essential. Yes. The economic development can only be achieved if you can attract investment.
All right.
And in Africa, sufficient debt restructuring systems.
All right. So you're saying economic
development is very critical. So
but it can be achieved when we attract investors. Investors or sure. Now investment and investors, one is a noun and the other one.
Okay. So when you talk of investment, I would like to say, as citizens, as we set the manifesto, let us be the center of investment.
But is there any country in Africa? In your country, do you have a plan? Because I hear every president, okay, in our country, let me talk about my country because I know it better.
Yes.
In my country, every president has his memorandum,
of course,
his agenda, his manifesto. Everyone who comes to office, even we are going to elect another president. We are going into elections,
of course,
next year. That is 2027.
Yeah.
And now,
my country will be heading to elections in 2 months.
In 2 months' time.
In 2 months' time.
Yes. You have all the politicians on the ground,
ground.
trying to make sure that they win.
Yeah, of course.
We saw what happened in Uganda. We see everything that happens on Africa.
Yes.
Now, how do you think, for me, I'll propose we have one manifesto of the citizens. Now my question comes, in your country, do you have?
We don't, unfortunately. Do you have it in Kenya?
Neither do we have it in Kenya.
Yes.
So that means then we should have one manifesto that runs the country. That's my opinion. How do you think about it? Does it bring any sense?
It does.
Mhm.
It does bring some sense.
Mhm.
I would agree with you
Mhm.
at some point.
Mhm.
But however,
Mhm.
when it comes to the needs and wants of citizens, they are unlimited. What I mean by unlimited is, at any point in time,
Mhm.
as citizens, we like to change things that we need.
Mhm.
So hence, it's very difficult to set an agenda as citizens. However, for us to manage to meet certain needs and requirements of the people,
Mhm.
we need to require economic development. And one aspect that's very critical when it comes to economic development is how hard it is for local citizens to invest in their own country. I don't know how easy is it for Kenyans to invest in their own country.
In our own country,
Yes.
as a Kenyan investing, yes, I've seen investors in Kenya, but investors who are doing well, they are from outside country. I've seen mostly, let's say, we have these, how do we call it? I want even to use the roads. The road, this engineering sector, and mostly people I see building the roads.
Of course.
Chinese build our roads in Kenya. So probably that is an investment from outside. So I can't deny the fact that Kenyans are also doing well, but now that narrows down to that stamina of your prowess to raise capital and funds.
Yeah. So when it comes to local investment, I like the wave that's starting to occur in most of the African countries where youths are being put first. So a number of youths lack sufficient capital to start businesses. So a lot of banks, a lot of non-governmental organizations, of course, even government organizations are coming in to create cooperatives. So it's very hard to carry out development, economic development.
My good people, we are very sorry for the commercial break. It was a serious commercial break. We are getting back to make sure that things are good. We are very, very sorry for that. Hey, chap, sorry. It was a commercial break. Sorry. I'm seeing someone saying that, engineer, we are getting impatient. That is Ombasa Linus. Someone has my name.
Oh, of course.
I'm seeing Samara Spencer. Sorry, we are very sorry for that little breakdown. That will never happen again. My engineers are moving swiftly to make sure that things happen here greatly. Let me know in the comment section who was that person that was patient until we are back. Now, where were we before we went to the emergency?
Okay, so we're discussing a very critical element when it comes to youths, of course, and we looked at three things. Okay, financing, skills, and mentorship is what a lot of youths are lacking, not only in my country but most of the African countries, of course. Yeah, and as I earlier alluded to, discipline is very, very essential when it comes to acquiring finance, skills, and of course, ensuring that you acquire mentorship. I would like to say in Africa, a number of youths, depending on the life that you're living, would dictate the image that you present to people. Okay, so make sure, guys, that as engineers, of course, as engineers, as youths, let us take ourselves very seriously. Okay, so
talk to them, tell them,
guys, let us take ourselves very seriously. Engineers, computer science students, you guys are the future of Africa. Okay, so we see the Chinese obviously coming in most of the African countries and carrying out this road infrastructure network. What we can do is to learn from them, and if we learn from them, we gain the trust, and we're given a project. We should carry it out to the best of our ability because we want to improve our country. What we see a lot is youths are given certain opportunities, and some of them don't take these opportunities very seriously.
Now, I heard you mentioning of what we call skills.
Yes.
One thing I would ask in that point of skills, as an African youth, what do you think? What can motivate me to study a skill and it's not paying me? You know, you want me to go and attend a mentorship class and it's not paying me. How can, what is this motivating factor? Can you motivate a youth to go and study something that he is very certain that it will not be paying? Because I ever heard people say, we study to be paid. We study to get money.
Yes.
So what skill is that?
Okay. So I would like to say in Africa, of course, we shouldn't center, I don't want to center this debate based on only those that are in universities. Okay?
Sure.
Yes. So the skills that I'm talking of, let's put into consideration also other youths there who might not have the ability to attain high level of education,
Definitely.
but also the ability to just run a small enterprise. Okay, the ability to learn fish farming, the ability to be able to grow tomatoes. Okay, such type of skills. A lot of youths, especially those that are in university, we learn technical skills. Our friends also that are not in university have the ability to learn agriculture. So let's put it this way. As youths, we should learn to work together. There may be a guy that may know how to do fish farming. Can he be able to sell that fish? That's where we come in as technical guys to help that guy sell the fish. He knows how to keep the fish, but then can he sell it?
Wait a minute. What you're saying is true, but do you think it happens in the real life from a point of, I kept the fish well in my pond. I have reared them since they were young. Now they are ripe and ready for the harvest. I want to take them to the market. You are just there with your theoretical knowledge. You want to sell the fish.
So
that's what I'm trying to say. Does that workload
it's
equalize to each other?
No, the workload does not equalize to each other, but we need to come up with structures. You can raise the fish. That's one thing. You can raise the fish. You can make sure the fish is okay. You've fed the fish, but do you have a distribution structure? How let's say fish is a very delicate food, because if it's not refrigerated and not sold at the quickest time, it can go bad.
Absolutely.
Yes, but then you need to set a structure. So obviously you are the owner of the business and I am your employee. You get what I mean? So I must set a structure. I can't go 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a 50-50 type of affair,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a share percentage.
All
I might
right.
get 2%,
Uh-huh.
okay, for setting up a distribution
Mm-hmm.
channel. You may get 75%.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you can't do certain jobs alone.
Sure,
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah, you can't do certain jobs alone. So of course, when it comes to the portion and sharing the profit, you obviously get a higher profit. I'll get a substantial amount of profit, but then I'm setting a distribution channel.
All right, I agree with you. Now, maybe what is one thing a Zambian mind and a Kenyan mind? What is, in your opinion, killing African leadership? What is this one thing that kills African leadership?
Okay, so when it comes to African leadership, the first thing that we should look at, and one thing that's critically killing us, is the aspect of selfishness. Okay, so coming into office, of course, and looking at abuse of power for self gain. That's one thing that has affected.
So, in your opinion, that selfishness
Yes.
kills Africa?
Yes, selfishness is killing Africa, my brother, and our dear audience, of course. Selfishness is killing Africa because a lot of leaders are coming into leadership positions not to serve the people, but to enrich themselves. We can see a number of regimes in Africa, of course, like in Cameroon, where you have a leader ruling for a long period of time, and we've also seen a number of presidents, of course, like in Equatorial Guinea, leaders been in leadership positions for a very long time, and of course, in Zimbabwe, we saw Robert Mugabe, of course, ruling for a long period of time, but now he was overthrown by Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa, President Emerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe. Being in leadership for certain periods of time can create stagnation. Okay, can create stagnation. We can argue, of course, that some of these leaders have done very little to improve their countries. Others have done substantial development, but then if we are not serving the people, development will be derailed.
All right. Now, what do you think? Because you have mentioned of staying in office for an elongated period. Now, what do you think is the best term for a president? What do you think, in your opinion? How long should I stay in office? Then that could be better. How long should a leader stay in office?
Okay, so a lot of African countries obviously have a fixed time frame.
Definitely.
In my country, it's obviously 5 years. I don't know in Kenya, but usually
it's 10 years. 10 years, 2 terms. Or we call it 1 term, 5 years.
Yeah, of course, another term. Yeah, that's similar to ours as well.
You have 2 term, 1 term.
Yeah, 2 terms. Yeah, 2 terms, of course.
Right, we'll get there. I'll tell you much about 2 term and 1 term.
Yeah. So the structure that's already in existence is sufficient and accurate for some countries. Okay, so a president ruling for 1 term 5 years and another term 5 years, which accumulates to a total of 10 years, is okay. However, in some countries, such a system does not work. Okay, so a good example of a country where elections or democracy hasn't worked is Burkina Faso. Okay, so if you look at time immemorial, okay, Burkina Faso was had a huge influence when you look at the military coming in and ruling. So at the moment, everyone is talking about the courageous man. Okay,
that is, what is the name of that?
Ibrahim Traore.
Traore.
But if you look at Burkina Faso's history, we look at a man who is loved on the African continent for what he did for his people. That's Thomas Sankara. I don't know if you have heard of such a man.
I heard of the man with the bullet.
Yes. Thomas Sankara set a structure of ensuring that Burkina Faso moved from okay, so the name Burkina Faso simply means the land of the upright people. Okay, so he set the name Burkina Faso, and if you looked at his regime, his policies and leadership, it was best centered on his people. And when they switched from that type of system where the military was ruling the country to democracy, it derailed progress. And we have seen how drastic economic development and infrastructure development has hit massive success in the recent years through the leadership of Ibrahim Traore. So certain countries in Africa already have systems that are not fit for democracy, sorry to say. Other countries are set for democracy, but other countries are not set for democracy.
Wait a minute. Don't run away from my question. I asked, what term limit do you think as a president or as a leader I should stay in office? Before you answer, our good audience, I've seen Evodia from Cameroon. She comes from Cameroon. She's saying 2-term maximum is fine.
Okay.
Now, I want everyone in the comment section, can you write me, what limit do you think a leader should stay in office, as you give me your opinion?
Okay, so with my explanation, I want to limit this to countries that have democratic structures. Yes. So with countries that have democratic structures, of course, 2 terms is fine. I'll agree with our audience, of course, from Cameroon.
Why 2 terms? You know, don't agree.
Okay.
Why?
Why 2 terms?
Yes.
Let me put it this way. If a president is there for the first term and they achieve most of the good policies that the people require, why don't they need a second term? They do.
They don't.
They do.
How many people are in one country? Why do you need a term? For what?
Okay, so what I mean is, if you are elected for the first term and most of the policies that you have achieved for the people.
How many people do we have in a country? Answer me. How many people are you in Zambia, approximately?
In Zambia, we have 20 million people.
20 million people.
20 million people.
So you want to tell me that 20 million people, one person is brighter than 20 million people? How many leaders can we raise from 20 million people? How many?
Of course, many leaders can come from the 20 million people.
Thank you. And must it that you want to be a second term, or must it be that now, who said second term? Who said that tone?
Okay, so the citizens, of course, each country is governed by a constitution.
I agree.
Yes.
I don't deny.
You don't deny, right?
But there's something that we learn. We learn it. It's good. I really love literature. It says we must always ask. You must always question. You can't tell me that if this color is maroon and this table is maroon, if I bring white, then I'm on a mess. I want to test the system. Get my point?
Yes.
So you are telling me that a leader should be in office for 2 terms.
Yes.
Why? Substantiate that. Why?
Okay. Let me substantiate that for you.
Do it.
So, our dear audience, of course, I'll be very strong on my point. So each leader is elected by the people. They have a manifesto. They have ideas. Now, what we're saying is, if you achieve most of the goals that you set, and the citizens see it fit that amongst the other leaders that want to contest, they don't have the policies and the ability to achieve those goals, then why don't you deserve a second term?
Wait a minute. Now, your answering has what we call you have made your own question and answered it.
Yes.
You have not answered my question.
No, I've definitely.
That's your own question.
No, I've definitely answered your question. So my question is,
you did not answer my question.
No,
you have answered
you
what
said,
you have made.
Okay.
You have created a question this way.
Okay.
That we have a leader here who has a clear focus with clear policies.
Yes.
And we have other leaders here besides him,
of course,
who have not cleared their policies well, or who have an agenda that is blurry.
Yes.
So then we should elect the one
that has an agenda.
That is your question. That is, and you have answered yourself.
Yes. And if that person is already in power and they already have an agenda, let them continue.
Answer my question. Let's get back.
Yes.
I'm in office.
Yes.
Yes, I've done that I could. Now, why don't I get to office and open chance for new people, new minds? I don't care the mind that is coming to office. Why? Why then? Who said to term?
The people. The people select who they want, and that's why I'm saying for a leader, as we might say, leaders deserve 2 terms. I also personally feel like leaders deserve 2 terms.
Why?
But why leaders deserve 2 terms it depends on their first term. Okay, if you are elected in parliament into government, okay, if you are elected into government, you have your first term to achieve those goals, and if you don't achieve them, do you deserve a second term?
You don't. You don't even deserve the first full term.
Of course. Now, if you achieve those goals, okay, if you achieve those goals, and people see that you're focused and well determined to carry the nation to greater heights, why don't you deserve a second term?
All right.
Yes.
That is, my point is this. Even if you're an engine, even if you're the rocket, the new superstar in town, we always have people who can do better as the nation moves. Why should we recycle Nkole Besa? Are you getting the point? You know, my point is this. Then are we nurturing? You get my point?
Yeah, I totally get you.
You're in office now. You're in office tomorrow. Yes, you are doing the right thing. I don't deny. But get out of that office.
At some point, you have to. 2 terms is sufficient for you.
To do what?
The first term is the term where you are elected, you achieve your goals.
Your goals?
You achieve the goals. So what I mean by your goals is by the manifesto that you promised to the people.
Okay.
Yes. What I mean by your goals is the manifesto that you promised to the people. But then in the second term, I would like to advise a lot of African leaders to say, in the second term you are elected into government, that term is a term to nurture. Because at some point, you have to leave the floor while people are clapping. That I agree. But then, are you sure that in the first term, you have nurtured a number of youths, a number of people that can carry the nation forward? I don't think so. Because you'll be busy trying to achieve the goals that you have set and promised to the people.
Okay.
In the second term is more about nurturing, because obviously people will be fed up. People would want new people. But then if you are nurturing youths to carry the baton, to carry the future of the nation, that should be in your second term as president. If people feel fit that you have achieved the goals in the first term. Yeah.
Right. Let me know in the comment section. I want to see what my good fans are talking. Remember, your comment is very, very essential and very, very key. Let me check here. Now, I'm saying, let me begin from, right. I'm saying 6 to 10. Now, I'm trying to make sure that it's even 1 year, and people are telling me 6 to 10. It's okay in my own opinion. Okay, thank you so much. You have added in my own opinion. Thank you. That is Mwaniki. Mwaniki, thank you so much. Right, let me check here. The desire for wealth in greed leads to corruption. That is Spencer, but corruption doesn't lead to greed. All right. Ombasa umejaa ngori. No. This one, we must get the answer. We must make sure that we get the answer. Let me check in the comment section. Let me check. This is very, very, very essential here. And we must get to know. I'm saying exactly. Let's have a discussion, not a confrontation. Our opinion should educate us and make us better. We are not confronting each other. We are making sure that this debate flows. Remember, we're in a debate. Remember.
Yes, of course.
I'm not your friend here.
Yes.
Are we together?
Yes. When it comes to the debate, of course,
I'm not your friend.
Of course.
Are we together?
Absolutely.
When you leave this studio, go and tell them you met a tough person in this studio.
So of course.
Are we together? Man. In Zambia, tell them that. I'm not your friend. It's a debate. This is our line here.
Of course.
Make sure you don't agree with me, and neither will I agree with you.
Absolutely.
Are we together?
Absolutely.
Keep on pondering, why is it 2 term and not 1 term? You should stay in office just for 5 years. Get out. Even for 2 years.
Unfortunately not.
What is this that you want to do in 10 years that you can't achieve in 1 year? Okay, let me check in the comment section, then I get back to you.
Of course.
Okay, I'm seeing here. All right, very exactly. If you don't perform, then you don't deserve a 2nd term. All right. Just because they are better from the previous regime. Think, if you are not, that is Moniki, if you're not for the citizen and good of them, get out. If yes, lead us, period. Better the devil you know than the angel you know with not. You know, we have fallacies. I'll make sure that we clean these fallacies at the end of the day. Right. I will check. Yeah, leaders should consider the electorate, not UNMC. Don't worry. Just no problem, no problem. We are just here to make sure that things are flowing good. That is the biggest problem we have in our African countries, Tobias. If leaders stick to the mandates they were elected for. Can you tell me in the comment section? I really would wish to know. Now, this is my question to you. I am in office. I should stay in office for 1 term because you told me you are 20 million people.
Yes.
In 20 million people, what if every 5 years we have a leader? From a point of, I was even thinking, okay, I overheard this. There was a country somewhere that wanted even to extend the term limit of a president.
Yes.
Is that a good opinion? For you, I know you'll agree because already you have agreed to the 2nd terms that I'm against.
So,
okay, Nkole Besa,
yes.
Let me ask you this. I'm in office.
Yes.
I have promised you I'll build roads.
Yes.
Don't you think the 2nd term is always a trap that leaders use to the schedule framework that has what we call curated plans of earning the 2nd term? Because then I will think of a schedule map. What do these guys need? Roads. I'll build a road and not vanish it properly. Are we together? I'll build a school and not furnish it completely. I will, let's say, try to make sure that electricity gets to the villages, but I will make sure that I erect the poles, but I will not take the transformers there. So that will be my campaign mantra to bridge me to the 2nd term. Don't you think so?
Of course, I totally agree with you to some certain extent, and that's why we're saying there's this form of discontinued development in a lot of African countries. However, as some of the people in the audience have already earlier alluded to, if you don't perform in your 1st term, why do you deserve a 2nd term? So a 2nd term, in my argument, I'm saying you only deserve a 2nd term if you perform in the 1st term. So what you're doing there is that you have created a number of projects that you haven't finished.
Wait a minute. You know, I'm trying to this is getting hotter from this point.
Yes.
Why should I reward you the 2nd term from the 1st term? Why should I not reward you a leadership position from the manifesto. Nkole, I don't know if you're understanding what I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
I should not reward you the second term because of the first term. I should reward you the second term either way, as you have said it, because of your solid leadership capabilities, not from the first term, but from what you said and what you are on doing it.
Okay, so when you're setting a manifesto, and if you are already a political party or a government already in power, what people look at firstly is you first came into government with a manifesto. Okay, so people are saying you already came in with a manifesto, and then you create another new manifesto for the second term. Now people will say, so this guy said this in this government said this in the first manifesto. What did he do in the first manifesto that will make us believe that when he sets the new manifesto, he will achieve greater success in the second manifesto?
Okay.
I don't know if you get my point.
I get your point.
Yeah. So people will say, okay, this guy is coming with a new manifesto. Wow. Okay, but then we give him the first term, and with the first term, he came in with the first manifesto. So now let's review performance. So as you earlier said, some politicians will set traps for certain projects, and they'll be half-baked. So as you said, they'll put the pause, they won't put the transformers and the like. People will say and come to you and say, oh, wow, you've come into a new manifesto. Let's look at your first manifesto. You didn't complete a number of the projects that you already gave us, okay, and already promised us. Hence, you don't deserve a second term. And you see why it's very important that when you're given the first 5 years, you must deliver key projects. If you don't, you don't deserve a second term.
Right. I want to ask you a question.
Of course.
It is economical, but then it is in our reference. Or let me use a baby.
Yes.
I'm reading your comments, right? All your comments here. I've seen Evodia, Ombasa, we have Brian, Nyakundi, Spencer. I'm seeing Tobias. I'm reading all your comments. Please write them to me. Now, they mean a lot to me. Your comments mean a lot to me. Please write me your comments here. Now, today, you have a baby here. And this younger baby of yours, do you have babies in your home? Are you the firstborn in your family?
Yes, I am.
You're the firstborn?
Of course.
Right. So that means you have kids that you precede them.
Yeah, of course, ma'am. I have younger siblings, of course. Yeah.
The younger. Right. So maybe did you witness them growing?
I did.
You did?
Of course.
Wow. Now, that child, when he or she, is he male or female?
I've male siblings and female siblings.
Female. Okay, that is nice. Now, let me use females. I'll use the sister, your sister now.
Yes,
when your sister was growing, if you came to your sister by then and told her when she's young that now I have food for you, I have yogurt for you, but you know what? I have another yogurt. How do you think your sister will treat this first yogurt? I don't know if you're getting my point.
Yes.
As a baby. Are we together?
Yes.
She's a toddler. Now, how do you think she'll treat this yogurt?
Okay.
There's another one. And even there's a promise. We can change even that. I can bring more yogurts. I can find all the yogurts. Will she care for the yogurt? Don't overthink. Just think in a humble way. Will she care for the yogurt?
No, she won't.
No, she won't. Why?
Because she knows there'll be another yogurt.
Thank you. You will not care for something and you know there's another thing that is coming. That's my point.
Okay, so I would like to disagree with you.
Do?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So uh, you're saying
Mhm.
you have a toddler,
Mhm.
and you give the toddler
Mhm.
yogurt,
Mhm.
and then you tell the toddler, I have another yogurt.
Mhm.
Okay, they won't treat that yogurt because they know there's a second yogurt.
Mhm.
So when it comes to elections
Mhm.
or African leadership,
Mhm.
uh, you give people
Mhm.
a promise
Mhm.
to carry out a manifesto.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
and as you are given the chance to be elected and you are elected,
Mhm.
you don't have um, the power to be elected for the second term. The people decide.
Mhm.
So I'm reversing your question. I don't know if you're getting what I mean. I'm reversing your question.
Mhm.
In that sense, you're saying you give the toddler yogurt,
Mhm.
and you tell them to say, I have another yogurt. Of course, they won't care for the first one because they know there's a second one.
Mhm.
But in African um, uh, leadership, you give a person the term, the ability to run as president for the first term.
Mhm.
But are they assured that they'll be elected for the second term? No. They
Mhm.
can only be assured of a second term based on performance. So it's different from your question. So leaders in Africa don't know that this is second term.
Let me get my question well.
Yes. Leaders in Africa don't know that they'll have a chance for a second term. They only get to know that based on how they perform.
Mhm.
And if people consent and review
Mhm.
their performance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Now, on that note, one thing I would really love to talk about is this. Already the Constitution allows. Are we together?
Yes.
Now then, what will be the hindrance? In our country, Kenya, all presidents actually from yes, they have been two-term, 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 two-term.
Now,
And people are complaining, and people some grumble. Yes, we have people who can grumble just for the sake of grumbling, but we have genuine grumbling people who have genuine solid reasons. Now my issue comes, why don't we have a set term limit that says your work or your term limit in office, it is 5 years, one term. Stay in office, enjoy yourself, leave the people, and once that time is over, get out. We have no other merit. Why should we test you on the second term? You should get out, are we together, of the office. And we have no people. Even if you vie and win, you should not be elected. That's my issue. You should then be a mentor, not a leader.
okay. So I will bring something up into the light. So one of the first things that actually happens in the political arena is there's what we call a general election, where we see people of course voting for political candidates. We also have what we call primary elections. So primary elections are carried out by political parties, okay, to endorse candidates. So if people in a political party feel it's fit for you to be endorsed based on your performance in the first term, that's fine. But when it comes to the general elections, the majority of the citizens have a say. So it's up to the general public okay, in the general elections to decide who they want as president.
Mhm.
So you might want to say you want to run for the first term, and in the primary elections carried out by various political parties or the ruling party, you're still endorsed. But the citizens at the end of the day in the general elections will determine who becomes president. So you might say that, oh, okay, I want to run for the second term. Do people accept you for the second term?
Okay.
So it's much easier for politicians to manipulate a primary election because it's in the party. So you can easily be endorsed as a political candidate or a presidential candidate. When it comes to the general elections, the people will now decide based on your performance to elect you for the second term. I don't know if it's automatic that a second term is easily granted to a president.
It's
You have to be re-elected, isn't it? Yeah. So it means that for you to be re-elected, citizens evaluate your performance in the first term. So as I am saying, as citizens are evaluating the performance, they will say, okay, I think this guy, if we look at what he promised in the first manifesto, he has achieved most of the things that he promised and less of the things that he has done more of the things that he promised. And if we elect him for the second term, he might carry out these projects for the second term, in the second term. And hence we give him the chance to be elected for a second term. So when it comes to a president ruling for 2 terms, the first term is very critical.
For what?
It's very
introduction.
Not introduction.
For what?
To carry out his mandate. You're not introduced.
What is this that you want to achieve in 2 terms?
So what you want to achieve is continuous development.
If you do an examination today,
yes,
and they tell you immediately you finish, the same paper, we will give you another paper. That is chemistry, and we give you another chemistry paper. Will you take this paper seriously because then it's there freely? Did you do your national examinations?
Yes, of course I did.
When you fail, what do?
You go back.
When you pass?
You go forward.
You go forward.
Yes.
Then, thank you. You have transisted. Now my point, you don't transist to be the student of the same institution. Transist then to be a mentor and bring people into now that system of yours.
Okay. So,
are you still in high school?
No, I'm not still in high
school. You're in university?
Yes, of course.
Why? You got from high school?
Yes, of course.
Did you now? Are you on with the same exam?
No.
Because your mind has done what?
Elevated.
So that's now not second term, in my opinion.
Okay. So now let's say I like where you're coming. I like your question.
A minute. Yeah. Let me check the fancy.
Of course.
Now, good people, I'm checking your. Let me check. Let me check in the next 1 second. All right. Linus umeenda kanisa. That means someone is asking a fan here if he went to church. Right, Linus. We are not talking about building a road only. We are talking about holistic and all-round national development. Yes, here we are talking about national development. The hindrance is the people's power, but the power is with the people anyway. Constitution is the compass. That is Tobias.
Of course.
That's true. You concur?
I absolutely agree with him.
The people have the power. Right. Tobias, remember in every country there is thing called financial here, and this helps us allocate the funds. Stop grumbling in the comments. Some people are fighting here. I'll bring you on the show so that you can have this debate here. I'm saying Stanley, he's saying it's not about being re-elected or being elected. It's about what will trigger the re-election. Why be re-elected? There's a question?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Michael, if you are given an English language workload to cover for 5 years to prepare students for an exam, and the teachers keep being changed, learning won't be coherent and won't work, and work won't be well done. No, This is now great. I think this is a good insight also to discuss this from the teaching perspective. That is Evodia from Cameroon. Thank you so much, Evodia. I know she is in Europe, but she comes from Cameroon. Now, she is saying, now she's challenging my uh, state or my argument in the case that a leader should stay in an office just one term. Now, she is saying that if I'm given a workload for 5 years to prepare students for an exam, and the teachers keep being changed, learning won't be coherent and won't work. Work won't be well done. That's literally what she's saying. Now, all right, Evodia, thank you. Now, let me answer you. Evodia, you have even said it correctly. You have given me to teach students for 5 years. Now, this president in office for just one term, we will not change him. He will stay in office for the whole term. My issue is, after I have taken the students all the way and they have graduated well, why don't I, as a teacher, now take a different task? What task is that according to me? Then I have proved that I can do this task. Why then don't I be a mentor so that I can coach a teacher on practice? I'm a senior teacher. I'll not now be doing that teaching every day. Why don't I coach now another junior teacher who is on teaching practice to do the same work as I be a mentor? So I have also challenged you in that. Tell me your challenge. We are here for this national debate. Right, let me check here. Linus, how fair? Some people are here in the comments. Hence, it's passed in parliament. Evodia, great insight. All right, someone is supporting Evodia. No problem. Evodia, I like your reasoning. Wait a minute. Let me refresh this. Make sure that you bring your argument. I like your argument. Okay, no problem. They are seconding. Thank you, Evodia. Second time is just for winding up finished projects. This thing is changing leaders from time to time, spoils the system till some changes are made and still can be passed in parliament because leaders are still greedy and others are not aware of what they pass because only what they want is power. Now, my big issue is not even much all about power. Evodia, she has answered. She's saying citizens do the voting once their leader has done well. He gains their trust and they'll surely vote for him again. But sincerely, after the second term, no matter how perfect he was. All right. Can you elect a president after second term?
No.
Why?
You have been given ample time to carry out development in a period of 10 years. So there's what we call short-term and long-term planning. So in the first term, you might have created short-term plans, and then those short-term plans, you have a goal to achieve them in the longevity of years. So 10 years is a very substantial amount of time to carry out a lot of projects. So after 10 years, there must be some substantial amount of reasoning for us to elect you for another 10 years, for 30 years in power. Now, we must be very critical on that one, because then we must be careful of creating a...
Okay, are you not following the constitution? Because when you tell me second term is something that is guaranteed, then you're following the constitution. I don't agree with you following the constitution. But how solid, what's your opinion and take on your opinion? Can you substantiate it?
Okay, so let me put it this way. So if a president is re-elected for the second term, as our audience has already stated in the comments, I love the comments, by the way. Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
So what we're saying here is this. In the first term, there are certain projects that are started that can only be achieved as years progress. And in those years, we're talking about a time frame of 10 years here. So if you're elected for the second term, you must finish the projects that you started in the first term. And if you don't finish them in the second term, why should you be elected for another term? So we're talking about a period of 15 years here. So now we're saying if you need to groom leaders in those 10 years, leaders must be groomed. If there are projects that you need to achieve in those 10 years, those projects must be achieved. Okay, there's no way we're going to elect for 15 years. Okay, no, 10 years is fine, 2 terms is okay.
5 years is good, 2 terms is not okay. Why 2 terms?
My brother,
we have many people. You know, let us not limit ourselves. We have 20 million people.
The question is it very easy to achieve substantial national development in 5 years?
Yes.
Absolutely no.
Why?
We're talking of Africa, my brother. Africa requires structures for financial support. As I'm saying, how many countries in Africa have robust economic industries? Very few. Okay, very few. And this is what I'm saying. In the first term, a lot of governments come in to try and set a structure, okay, of generating revenue to carry out projects in the second term. Or other governments, of course, they might find certain industries already operating where they can generate revenue and start key projects. And as people in the audience already stated, there are certain projects that you carry out knowing that if we're given ample time, if we're given ample time, these projects can be very, very prosperous for the country.
But you know, I think it's this way.
5 years is a short time, minimal time to carry out national development. This is the whole country that we're talking about. In my country, 20 million plus people and 10 provinces, my brother. In five years.
I don't know how simple you can achieve. I know you can achieve that, because now this is my thinking. Look at this. That now, in 5 years, let's say you told me that you are an academic representative in your high school.
Yes.
For what period of time?
I was academic leader for a period of 1 year.
1 year?
Yes.
What did you achieve in 1 year?
We created good communicative structures within the school. But let me say this. For me to be the academic leader in my final year of high school didn't just happen out of the blue. Leaders that were there before us created structures for us to be developed.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
And when it was their time to say bye, they said bye, knowing that they're leaving the system in good hands. And that's what we're trying to say. As a leader is working in 5 years, there should be people he should be inspiring. Okay? There should be people that he's carrying out the work with to see how development can be carried out.
You said it.
In 5 years. However, there are certain projects that cannot be finished in 5 years.
What projects are those?
My brother, we're talking of infrastructure development.
Okay, let's say
let's say infrastructure development. How many projects can be finished in 1 year when we talk of hydroelectricity and hydroelectricity plant? Let's talk of industries. Can you build industries in 5 years?
You can.
No, absolutely not. I differ on that one. There are certain industries.
How long does it take to build? Let's say you want to set an industry. Just let's say one industry. Maybe you want to set an industry, let's say dealing with agriculture and products, something like that. How long can it take? How long can it take for you to build an industry?
Okay, So
You're in office now. How long?
okay. So
One.
let me mention this. African countries do not have sufficient capital investment to carry out projects. Okay, and I'm saying this because a lot of our countries rely on imports than exports. So in a period of 5 years, you need to carry out a plan of how you're going to make your country credible. What I mean by credible is, can you insert that belief in your local citizens to invest? One, and two, can you set a foundation and a safe environment for investors to come in, okay, and invest in your country? That requires a lot of learning, a lot of course, adaptations, okay, teaching people what to do, and then from there you form structures. Okay, people must be able to feel the structures through step-by-step processes. And once those structures are set, people might say, there's something that's coming. There's something that's coming. We can see something that's coming. If we stop it in 5 years, we're not going to see the fruits. Okay? And once you are elected for the second term, then those fruits must be seen. But if they're not seen, people will be very adamant to elect you for another 5 years. So your 2 terms have given you substantial time to carry out whatever that you needed. In Africa, my brother, it's very hard when it comes to economic investment because, one, we need investors want countries that are safe, countries that are credible. They want to invest in a country that knows will be able to service debt. And for investors, they'll come in and see certain things in the country. And as citizens as well, we must feel, this certain urge to contribute to development. But then the leadership is what should encourage us to invest. So 5 years is a short period of time. We're talking of, in Africa, my brother, we're talking of government budgets being reversed or requiring additional funding midway in a year. Every after 6 months, government wants more money to fund projects. Okay, but then in 5 years, you have to set a structure of how you're going to source that finance. Look at industries that are operating, look at industries that are not operating, and then look at how the agriculture sector can contribute to finance. Do we have certain road infrastructure to support trade? Okay, when you look at the railway system, the aviation sector, do you have certain things in place for us to achieve our goals in 5 years? It's a sad story. Not a lot of countries have the infrastructure to do certain projects in 5 years. So if let's say if a government comes in and says, do we have a good road network for us to move goods from, let's say, Kenya to Uganda? Okay, do you have the right road network, and is it in good condition for us to move goods from Kenya to Rwanda, or to Uganda? If we don't, how will we generate money from exports? So we must work on that road for us to generate more money for export. Citizens will be able to see, once they work on the road, citizens will be able to see there's prosperity coming here.
Okay.
And if they see that, then they'll say, we need to elect you for the second term. Once they elect you for the second term, they must see prosperity because they saw a sign. But if they don't see the prosperity, then there's a problem.
All right. Now, this comes to my opinion. We should have leaders staying in office for 1 term. Then, as a country, we should sit down as a whole nation. We have a stipulated power plan that if anyone is on leadership, he or she should follow that plan. It is made, well formulated. Let's say we are in 2026. Let's say it's a plan of 2060. So it's a plan that our roads must be built. You having a manifesto of building our roads that are ours, that should not be your manifesto. It should be our right for you to build the roads. You have that mandate. We should not beg you to build the roads.
Okay.
Are we together? It's our
agree.
taxes. You should build the road, whether you like it or not. Are we together?
Okay.
You want to build them, you don't want to build them, you should build them. You building hospitals is not your manifesto. You should build hospitals, whether you like it, whether you don't like it. Now, from that end, we have a lay plan that now we have a 2060 plan of building roads, of building hospitals. Whoever that comes in office is not sharing ideas that he has curated and color framed. He should begin from where that president who was in office left.
Okay.
So that we don't have everyone setting his own rule. How do you think about that?
Your point of view is very important. But let me mention this, and this is something that's critical. You pay taxes as citizens to the government because government revenue equals taxation. But an increase in taxes is a major problem. An increase in taxes is a major problem. So I would want to put it this way. The more taxes citizens pay, the more dissatisfied they are. So it's not as much as it is the right of the people to have good medical facilities and health care. If more money is coming out from their pockets, it is a problem. If the price of bread is supposed to be, let's say, €2, and because of taxes it goes to €4, you cannot eat, right? You cannot eat. But what the government should do is set structures that will reduce the taxation on the side of the citizens. And this is what we are saying: create systems where you can generate revenue. Okay? Because the more citizens are taxed, the more discouraged they are.
True.
Yes.
I
so
agree.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying to say citizens have the right to have good hospitals, good health care, and of course the need to create national development plans like Vision 2030 of the United Nations and the like. But what I'm trying to say as well is, as a government, try and reduce the tax burden on the citizens.
True. I concur.
Yes. So the best way to reduce that tax burden on the citizens is by making sure we see industries where we can generate revenue so that we share the cost. And that cost is shared using what we call a subsidy. Okay. Subsidies help to ensure that more people can access a particular service. Okay. So I honestly support the idea where governments come in and see ways they can increase funding and see industries that are very critical and those that can generate a lot of money to help in national development, to reduce the tax burden on citizens. Because the more taxes citizens pay, okay, the more they are discouraged, okay, because the burden is supposed to be shared. Taxes obviously are there; each citizen must pay them. But if our citizens will come in with that goal to say no, build a hospital because we pay taxes. Okay, so you pay taxes, right? So if you want us to build the hospital using taxes, we'll tax you more. Then citizens will
No,
be
no, no.
discouraged.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
You getting into office,
Mm.
it's number one by our mandate.
Yes.
Are we together?
Yes.
If we choose not to elect you, you will not be in office.
Mhm.
Who funds the government?
Who funds the government?
Mhm.
So the people that are funding the government are the citizens through taxation, but not only the citizens.
I agree.
Yes,
we
yes.
have unions and
Yes, of course.
but the taxpayers' money plays a big role in any government because from whichever the union, where does the union get the money?
But are the taxes always sufficient?
Right. That now depends on the projects the country wants to run. Now my question is this, or my opinion is this. You are in office. Building a road, we don't beg you to build a road. Enhancing education facilities, we don't go to your whims so that you can build a school. You have to.
Of course.
That is a national goal. You have to. You have no other mandate whatsoever not to do it. As people, we are much authoritative to say that any leader, you have to do it.
Of course.
Now my question comes then, why don't we set a plan of, let's say we have 5 years in office. You getting into office is moving whatever that we had stipulated. Move it to your brain point, get out of office, be a mentor, be the grandfather of other young leaders who are coming. Why do we recycle leaders? That's my issue. Why should you stay? You are 90 years of age. You are in office first term, second term. Now, can you extend? And even some countries, they extend. Someone is in office for 15 years doing nothing. A recycled brain.
Okay.
Why don't we have a system that now this is our plan as a nation? You are called Nkole Besa from Zambia. You will follow this plan.
Okay. So let me make mention to say the most powerful instrument of power in every country is a constitution.
I agree.
Yeah, number one. And for us to create that system, we must revisit the constitution. So we must go back to the constitution review process. So the constitution review process, if we want to review and readjust certain parts of the constitution, we will require a referendum, of course.
True.
Yeah, for the majority of the citizens to elect certain things into law. Okay. So the first thing is, as I earlier explained in our discussion of African leadership, not every country in Africa, okay, follows a democratic state of leadership. Others are dictatorial. Okay, they are dictatorships, of course. So if you want to carry out development, you have to find something that's suitable for the people.
A minute, please.
Yes.
You mentioned dictatorial.
Yes.
Then I even feel like crying. Then why is it a long term? And I mean, I'm a dictator and it's a long term. I'm in dictation and the constitution has given me power to continue staying there. What if it was short term? I dictate you for the first few years and I'm out. Another person comes. Then that, by doing that, people will be on track record. I will work for 5 years. My time here is limited. Do you know people waste time when they know that I will always buy?
Of course, when it comes to dictatorship, here we're talking about countries where the president has absolute power. And if a president has absolute power, the majority of citizens have no say. Why? Let's talk of countries like Cameroon. We see presidents being, we've seen the president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, been in government for a long period of time. We have also seen the president of Equatorial Guinea. But then, if you look at those structures, if a president is in power for a long time, the people that surround him support him. Okay, so he's in charge of legislation, and this is where we need accountability and transparency. Okay, accountability and transparency needs to come in. Leaders must be transparent and accountable when they're elected. Okay. Yes, leaders must be transparent and accountable. And if they're not transparent and accountable, we see the creation of dictatorships. And my brother, it's not very easy. It's not very easy to overthrow a dictatorship, because what supports a dictatorship is a constitution. So we should be very mindful as citizens about the structures of how certain adjustments to the constitution must be made. The best thing for a constitution to be adjusted is through a referendum. It must not require a constitution, a constituent assembly, or any other structure. Why? We want to avoid politicians using corruption to make adjustments to the constitution. The best way a constitution should be adjusted is through a referendum. So make sure, as you are making adjustments to the constitution, and if citizens are given the power to make adjustments, everyone must vote for a referendum, because they know that if a president wants to increase the term maybe to 20 years in power, 25 years, the constitution states that are people willing to accept it? It will go through a referendum. Then citizens will sit down and say, this is wrong, we are voting against. But if you create a constituent assembly or other ways in which a constitution should be adjusted, politicians will find a way to manipulate the system. So what I'm saying is, from my point of view, I feel, okay, others may have a different narrative to it. So I feel adjustments to the constitution must be made through a way of a referendum, because then we'll prevent bad leaders from manipulating the system.
That is Nkole Besa from Zambia. He must stand on the foot. Hey, you are a serious debater.
Yes.
I thought that I could make sure that you get down to the brim. You know what? To the end point, it's very solid. Your argument makes sense.
Yes.
That in 5 years, a president can set the brim point, or the elevation and this escalating bridge, so that he or she finishes it to the second point. You are a serious debater,
of course.
But I've not said you won. You never won it. Right now, can you imagine now? This is the last thing that I'm asking.
Yes.
If you are a president now, just give me one change that you will bring to Zambia. Tell the Zambians who are here.
One thing that I would love to change in my country is the inclusion of youths in politics, of course, and in governance issues. Many youths are ignorant to participate in governance issues, and the earlier the better. So our elders must give us the mentorship that we need, okay, to be mentored in the right way and not in a very destructive way, for us to take key leadership positions at a very, very youthful age. So I encourage a lot of youths to participate in governance issues, and they must be well mentored, because sometimes as youths we say certain things that are not real. We picture certain things that are not there because we're not guided. So guidance, guys, is very important from the elders. They give us a roadmap of how things are done. A lot of you speak about certain things without having a structure. Okay, so let us not be too ignorant. We must be willing to learn. We we see the structures that are there and give suggestions. And if our suggestions are not heard, the only way we can change the narrative is by us having a voice. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm seeing someone saying that Africa is very intelligent. The Africans are very, very, very intelligent. Thank you. Such a great conversation. Thank you so much. People are thanking you. Thank you so much, good people. Can you tell us in the comment section your takeaway home? What you're proud of you too. 100% proud to be an African. Wow, that's great. African minds in the building, talking about great things. Thank you so much for your presence here. Your presence here was something that we will always say it was worth the tussle. So, good people, we have discussed about the African leadership, and it is one of the best topics of our young nations. Remember, without leadership, the country is moving not to any place. And what leadership am I talking about? It is the African leadership of young people. Thank you, seniors. I've enjoyed the show. That is Brian Borura Nyakundi. Thank you so much. Now, will you give us your parting shot? And as we come to the end of the show, can you give us your parting shot?
Okay. So for my parting shot, I would like to simply say the future of Africa is in the power of the youths. Youths, we have the power to take charge of our continent. We have the intelligence, the capability. We have to believe in ourselves. No one is coming to change the continent but ourselves. Let us be courageous. Let us be humble to learn from our elders. And knowledge is power. Africa is great, but greater with your courage and perseverance.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My engineer, bring that camera. Bring it up to where I am. So thank you so much, Nkole. I'm much elated to have you here. Thank you so much. Your insights have been good. I tried to test your good brain into making sure that I push you forth to the corner, but you stood the best time.
Thank you.
I think that is a good mind. That is a Zambian mind. That's great, man. That's great. I'm much elated for that bravery. You know, now you qualify to be a good debater. You qualify to challenge me.
Of course.
So when we'll be having national African debates, make sure you attend.
I will.
And challenge. Now I'll be tougher. I'll be on my shirt. I'll not be in my suit. I'll be on a shirt so that I just pick points faster. So I agree with what you're saying. A president needs 2 terms for him or her to finish the project's work.
Yeah.
You want it, but I have not declared you as the winner. Have you? Who was the winner, by the way? Can you tell us the winner as we depart from the studio? Who was the winner? Can you tell us? We vote. You are 10 people watching. Can you tell us the winner? Who won, by the way? Can you tell us before we go so that Nkole will not go and tell me, you know, I won. We are the change makers. It begins from me. It begins from you. Can you tell us who was the winner? I really would wish to know. Tell us who was the winner. Tell us. I'm waiting for you. Who was the winner? I'm waiting. People are laughing. I did not say you laugh. I won the winner. Tell us the winner. I'm waiting. Besa has tried so much. He has my vote. Besa, you have fans that you told them to vote for you.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. Thanks, guys. It's been a
you
pleasure
on
to be on
put.
the
Hey, wait a
podcast
minute.
for
So
the
I
second
lost.
time.
I'm seeing here. You put Nkole on a hot seat, and I was almost afraid. But Besa won. You people, what are you trying to tell me? Another comment. Besa all the way. So I did not.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for
That
your
is
support.
Samara Spencer.
Thanks. Thanks, Samara.
So these are 3. 1, 2, 3. 7 to go. I oppose the motion like here in Kenya. 1 term. There is someone who is opposing the motion completely.
1 vote goes to Michael. Mr. Michael, the good host.
Don't vote for me. Ombasa Besa has done a great job. Ooh, I lost the. Besa. Besa, you won it. Seriously, you won it. Hey, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. One person to vote for me before I sleep. You don't want me to have a good weekend. One person. I need one person. I need one vote. So better if we run for a presidential seat, so you'll win. Will you contest and win me?
Of course.
You won't. Let me check. One person for me. One person. Yeah, people are laughing here. Can you tell us the winner? Vote for me, please. You are from Cameroon. I need your vote. Let me stand with you. Thank you. Thank you, Kwamboka. Finally, I have someone to stand with me. Thank you so much. But you did not vote for me. You stood with me. So maybe you voted for Besa, but you are. Let me just stand with you, but my vote is elsewhere. Nevertheless, thank you so much, Kwamboka. Ombasa won it. This is a lie. This is curated. We need a WhatsApp group channel. Now, this is our WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp is coming soon. I want us to have a community here, right here. Turn on that notification bell. Turn it on. Turn that notification bell on. Now, good people, usisome hii public. All right. Now, my takeaway home, you want it. I agree. They have voted. So
Thanks,
you take the crown home. So Kenya has lost it. But next time, I bet on you, you won't win. But I agree.
Of course.
Your mind is solid. Thank you so much. That is now being someone who is wise. I know there's something I need to tell you. Bring that camera now.
Guys, continue supporting the podcast. Very insightful podcast. He's doing great things for the African continent.
Thank you so much.
Continue, my brother.
I appreciate
We'll continue to support the podcast.
Thank you.
More people need to be watching, not only the Kenyan community. We want people from Zambia to be watching. We want people from Zimbabwe, South Africa. The African community must be watching this podcast. It's the future of Africa.
Thank you so much.
Ombasa TV, the way to go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Forgot to mention Europe.
Of course.
The Baltics.
The Baltic. Yeah.
There is Estonia.
Yeah.
Latvia.
Of course.
We have Finland.
Yeah.
We have United Kingdom. That is not now from the EU.
Of course.
We also have, I don't want to mention that name. We might be hijacked at the moment. I don't want to say it.
Of course.
We all have all the countries. This is your place. Nevertheless, now.
Shout out to our backman staff, Mr. Stanley.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful job. Our Kenyan brother.
Yeah. One day, one time, our good cameraman will be here. He's doing a great job. Now bring that camera. I talk to these guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wish you a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, good people, this is something I want to tell you that is very, 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 very important. Now, listen to me, my people. In our channel, I have a school. And our school is very, very important for your learning. It is called Ombasa English Academy. Now, I know everyone who is here, I promised you that I will fund your good breakfast. But now I have a dare to you. I not only want to fund your breakfast, I want you to be my good marketer, and I want to pay you greatly. You know, use money, make money, and the fans should also enjoy. You are my fans. Now, this is the dare, you who is watching me. Go, immediately we are done watching this live. Just go to the first clip on the Ombasa English Academy. Pick that clip. Just pick it dearly. It's a clip about subject and predicates, the parts of a sentence that is in English grammar. Pick that clip, share it to many people as you can. Tell them to subscribe, and once you are done, you have shared the clip, write down your comment, keep those good screenshots of their subscriptions and also your comment. Now what you do, send that email, maybe of your subscriptions, people who have subscribed, and also the comments. Send it to my email. I'm writing my email here. At the moment, I'm writing my email here. Let me write it so that immediately I'm done. So go and keep this email correctly and save it. Let me keep it. Let me write. Let me write. Let me write. Let me write here.
Bluetooth mode. Live mode. Power off.
All right. I have sent you. Wonderful. I have sent you. Yes, it is good. I've sent you the email. I've sent you the email. What you do now, that email that I've sent you, keep it, save it, do the job I have given you. You are 10 people, and I want to give you a good job. Be our marketer of our page. You are my fans. Good people, support me, Rise. I also support you at your points of need. Now, be the good marketer. So I've written that email, and once I'm done, pick that clip. It's here, subject and predicate, the parts of a sentence. That's English grammar, the CBE curriculum in the Ombasa English Academy. Share it to many people. Write down your comment, share it widely, and throw me the emails. Thank you so much. I appreciate for your presence. Let me shout out people who are watching. Let me shout out, then I depart from the studio. We have Brian Borura Nyakundi. We have Tobias Kirui. Thank you so much. We have Justus Mutua. Thank you so much. We have Ebodia Mbiyinzinyu from Cameroon, but she is in Europe. We also have Deborah Kumboka. She's from Kenya. We have Kelvin Mwema from Kenya. We have Samara Spencer. We have, let me check, Justus Mutua. Thank you so much. Those are the fans who are up and above at the moment. How can you know someone has subscribed? Yes, I can know. Just do it dearly from an open heart and write to me, this is my job work that I did. I will know. Yes, I will know, because YouTube deals with systems. I will know when the subscribers added. Let me check. Yes, Ombasa Linus, I will know. Do it, tell me. And also you tell me the time frame that you sent the notification to your friends. Together we'll rise. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much. May God bless you abundantly. I wish you a good night. Good night. You're such a wonderful audience. May you have a blessed night. May you win bigger. May you be greater people. May you achieve more and achieve higher. Thank you so much for your presence here. May God bless you abundantly. Have a blessed night. Thank you so much.